Hey everybody, how you doing? Matt Grace here. Um, I'm here to share a concept with you, a vital concept that will greatly impact and enhance not only your relationship that you may be in, your current relationship, your relationship that you may have in the future, um, but your relationship also with yourself. So, what had happened was, let me share a little bit of background with you. I went hiking the other day in this place called Mission Peak. It's down on the way to San Francisco from where I'm at. And it's 3 miles up, a bunch of switchbacks. And I always have my essay on my situational awareness. It's the firefighter in me, it's the Navy rescue swimmer in me. And it's just really just who I am, always on the lookout for people who may need help. So I'm walking up, and sure enough, there was a couple, two girls, and they were maybe about a quarter way up the hike, and it was hot, um, and she wasn't really sweating all that much. And I was like, well, that's your first sign of dehydration. You're up here hiking and you're not sweating. So I talked with her a little bit, and her friend, and started having a little discussion. And I said, well, do you guys mind if I walk with you for a little while? And conversation went fine. She's like, oh yeah, okay, sure. And I started walking with them, and after a while, the conversation of relationships came up, because one of the girls was in a toxic relationship, and her friend was straight up saying, you know what, you're in a toxic relationship. You need to get out. I've been telling you this for a while. You need to get out of this relationship. He's not treating you well. He's not giving you what you deserve. And I thought about that, and it's like, wow, this really brings up something that I learned, and I've been using myself, and it is 1 + 1 = 3 in a relationship. 1 + 1 = 3. And I stopped and I said, hey, have you ever heard of 1 + 1 = 3? It's like, no, what do you mean? And we just like stopped in the middle of the hike, and I said, can I give you a perspective from a guy? Let me give you a guy's perspective, and let me share with you 1 + 1 = 3. He said, okay, what do you have to say? Let me hear it. And she was real attentive. She was like really interested in what I had to say, because I'm a little bit older than her. And I said, well, and plus it's a guy perspective, right? The girl wants to hear a guy's perspective. And I said, well, 1 + 1 = 3 in a relationship, because it takes one whole person and one other whole person to have a complete relationship, entirely different. That 3 is entirely different from them. I was like, does that make sense? She's like, well, I'm trying to understand. I said, here, let me explain it to you. One whole person plus one whole person equals an entirely separate living relationship aside from yourself. It's like, what do you mean? And what does it mean to be whole? She asked me, she's like, what is a whole person? How do you know when you're whole? I said, well, how do you know when you're whole? It's a beautiful question. Here it is. Let me explain it to you. You know that you are whole when you know exactly who you are as a person. You know exactly what makes you tick. You know what makes you excited to get up in the morning, and you have a purpose. You know what your ins and outs are. You know what makes you happy. You know what doesn't make you happy. And the only way you're going to realize this and understand this is spending quality time with yourself, knowing exactly who you are. And that takes work. That takes hard work. Looking inward is never an easy thing to do. You got to look at the ugly of yourself. What have you put up with? Not only in other relationships, but really, what have you put up with within yourself? Because whatever it is that you are making compromises in with yourself, you're going to make those same compromises when you're looking for somebody else in a relationship. Whether it's you compromising on your diet, you're compromising on, how you let other people treat you. What is it they say to you, and what is it you say to yourself? What is it you are constantly saying to yourself to put yourself down? Because guarantee, you know what? you're used to hearing that. You're allowing yourself to get used to hearing those negative thoughts. And then what you're going to do is you're going to go out and look for a relationship. You're going to find a relationship that person is going to say those exact same things to you, and you're going to be like, okay, that's cool, because I allow it to happen to myself. And after a while, you're going to start realizing you're not where you want to be. You're not in a good relationship. You're in a relationship that's depleting you, or you're in a relationship that's just taking away from who you are as a person, relationship that's taking away from your spirit, your soul, and really your happiness. And I was telling her these things, and she was listening intently. She says, you know, he always puts me down. And I said, yeah, I get that. I make dinner for him, and he doesn't even say thank you. He just expects those things to be done. I said, yeah. And I asked her, I was like, but you're volunteering. You're volunteering for that. He knows how to treat you because you're letting him do it, and you're letting that happen to you. And she stood there and she got it. And I was like, you know, when he comes home at the end of the day, or you come home, or whenever you guys meet and you guys ask each other, or better yet, he asks you, how was your day? Does he mean it? Does he stop and say, honey, how was your day? And wait to get into your world? Does he really want to know how your day was, or is he just saying that so he can say whatever is on his mind about how his day was, and not really care about how your day really was and get into your world? And I could see that her whole body changed. Her shoulders kind of came down, and she almost cried. I said, yeah, I get that. And I get emotional just telling this, because, man, it just made my heart hurt for her. It's like, ladies and guys, this is a wake-up call to you dudes out there. If this is happening in your relationship, you need to wake up. You need to wake up, because your lady doesn't deserve it. Your lady doesn't deserve it. Ladies, if you're hearing this, you don't deserve that. You deserve complete love. But in order to have a complete relationship of 1 + 1 = 3, you have to first love yourself. You have to treat yourself with kindness. Because I'll tell you this, if you work on yourself, you realize the things that make you tick, the things that make you excited, you learn again to play within your own life, the things that you like to do, and you can go do all those activities, whatever it is, hiking, camping. I'm just saying these because these are all the things that I like to do. If you can do those things completely on your own, by yourself, and not have the need to feel like you need somebody else there with you, you're beginning to be whole. You're beginning to be whole. If you can sit at home completely in peace and not feel empty, you are becoming whole. If you see joy all around you and not negativity, you're becoming whole. And it takes work. It takes real work to be able to do that. It takes real work. But I tell you this, you do that work and you go out as a whole person, and you're looking for another relationship because the one that you just got out of, you realize was toxic for you and not where you needed to be happy. When you are whole, you begin to see other people and attract other people who are whole themselves. It just happens that way. You'll be able to see things clear. It's like, man, there's just something not right. Go with your intuition. Your intuition knows this is not the right relationship for me. After a couple of dates, you go on to, by the third date, you should know this is not the right guy. This is not the right girl for me. They just don't match up with who I am. And once you find that person who is whole, because you will, 'cause you're whole yourself, then you can have that whole other relationship that is just built, that's beautiful around everything that you guys already know who you are. And you can, if that person ever decides to leave you, okay, I'm still complete. I'm whole in who I am. I absolutely know who I am. I love myself. I care for myself. And if you want to leave, then you can go ahead and leave, because I know that I'm fine by myself. I'm good by myself. That's why and I was telling her, is like, get to that place where you know that you are whole. And once you drop this dead weight, because this guy's obviously not treating you right, he's expecting you to do things for him and doesn't care exactly who you are as a whole person. Your friend's right. You need to drop this douchebag, because obviously he's not making you feel complete and whole and happy and loved. That's perfectly clear. So I just wanted to share that message with you, is that, you know, 1 + 1 really does equal 3 in a relationship. One whole person and one whole person equals a complete separate relationship that you guys can both add to and build, and just let the beauty happen. Just let the beauty happen. That's really what I wanted to share with you guys. I love you. Work on yourselves, become whole before you start trying to find somebody else to fill that void within you, because that void within you really can be filled by yourself. All right. I love you guys. I hope this video actually made an impact in you, in your lives, because I tell you, that concept of 1 + 1, it made a huge positive impact in my life. I am completely happy with where I am and what I'm doing and who I let him into my life. And it just, by following this concept, you develop ways of thinking that are only going to positively impact your life. Your environment is going to become a lot more secure. The people that you let into your life are going to be positive. They're not going to be the kind of people that drag you down. They're not going to be negatives upon your life, because you absolutely love yourself. And then you can be truly happy and play. Just play with life, and that's what it's supposed to be meant for. To be having fun. All right. I love you guys. I'll definitely talk to you later. 1 + 1 = 3. There we go. 3. Talk to you guys later.